I think we're live, bro. Better late than
Whoa.
never. Having some technical difficulties here. Yeah, studio's in shambles. Yeah. So, Clash at the Castle was a thing. Tom and I are gonna kind of recap it a little bit, kind of dive in, see what we think, what we thought, what it was all about. And then AEW. We're just gonna keep having the same conversation that we've been having. That it's just not 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 fucking good. So, and then we'll see what else happens because that's kind of what we do these days. So, yeah.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
One fall. What's up, bud?
Oh, had a day.
Yeah, I'm having that right now. So
yeah. So we were supposed to have Evie's first playoff game in Bridgeville today, but as I pulled out of the before that even, as I'm getting into the garage, the mechanism on the doorknob to the garage malfunctioned and broke. So I don't know about you, but I've had to replace just about every doorknob in this house because they were all fucking garbage when I got here. So I've tried to replace all of them. Somehow, finally, the one in the basement also failed. So that happened as I was trying to leave to go to what I believed was going to be a softball playoff game. So I managed to get it shut, but then the knob didn't work. So I couldn't actually reopen the door, which was like, okay, well, we'll just come in the front door when we get home and I'll go in and I'll change that. So anyway, go to this game, stand around. As soon as we get there, as soon as they're getting ready to start the game, fucking lightning everywhere, then torrential downpour. Just unrelenting for like 45 minutes or an hour. And the other team doesn't want to call the game. They're like, oh, no, we got the sandpaper. We got the sand stuff. We can do it. We can do this. We can totally get it. It's totally going to be okay. It wasn't going to be okay. There was no realm in anywhere where it was going to be okay. So anyway, eventually Damien looks at me and goes, Dad, this is stupid. They're not going to play in that mud. Because it was puddles. You know, it looks like when it rains hard on a baseball field. It was puddles. It's like, no, you're not going to play in that mud. And I go, you're right. All
especially down there.
It's down you know where it is. It's down in a pit. Like it's not even. So so I'm like, all right, let's go get Evie, get her stuff. Let's go. We hightailed it out. I felt bad because like their grandparents from Ohio came to watch too, and that just was like So anyway, the game got postponed to tomorrow, but not after we sat there for 45 minutes and just fucked around. While everybody was like, no, it's gonna be okay. As lightning shoots out of the sky, I'm like, this is stupid. Is everybody stupid? So we leave, we come back. I go down to replace my doorknob, because I'm like, oh, well, I got to get this fixed, right? I can't just like have a broken ass door. So I'm like, all right, well, take the doorknob out, but as most things, the thing that slots in is frozen, right? That's what happens. It locks up and the mechanism fails. A spring goes pew, and it's just stuck in the door. So I'm like, I'm jiggling it. I'm like, I could probably just force this open because I had taken the knob out and the deadbolt still worked, and I had undeadbolted it. But of course, it cracked it split the frame because of course it did.
Oh, why? I mean, why not?
Why not, right? So I glued the frame back together, screwed it back together. So now it's not splitting again because it's fucking screwed to 2x4s and it's glued together now. It ain't going nowhere. But the shitty ass plywood that the fucking boomer that jerry rigged the door.
Okay. Don't do that.
It was boomer jerry rigged. That's all it was. He stuck a piece of plywood this thick to make the door, to make the frame. and
Hip-hop.
just
the
nailed it to a 2x4.
the boomers built this.
They didn't build shit. Their parents
built
built everything, and they moved in, and they made it shittier. Who put carpet all over the beautiful hardwood floors? That wasn't their parents.
No.
Anyway, so that pissed me off. And then that was pretty much it. That's the only thing that pissed me off, really. Otherwise,
Well, what's pissing me off is I look like a damn chooch in a basement, because I've got I don't know what the hell happened. I came and I sat down here to record today, and
the torrential downpour it stormed. I can't believe it didn't storm at your house.
No, it didn't. I'm like really close. That's like really close now. I don't know what to do with any of this
really
stuff.
close.
I don't.
Maybe back up.
I'm not. But I can't because my boom arm is all the way over here. So I'm on this little stand because I'm on my, my search thing monitor. Yeah, it's awesome. Fucking awesome.
Sounds like you're having the same kind of day, evening that I had.
I had a great. I took a day off. Hey, happy Father's Day, by the way.
Hey, you too. Happy Father's Day. I know we texted yesterday, but
yeah, for sure. For sure. Derek's a weak ass bitch.
Well, did he have a happy Father's Day?
I don't know.
Happy Father's Day, guys. I'm in a different state. I'm in Central Time Zone. I don't. It still counts. It still counts.
Is he in a Central Time Zone right now? Why? Where the fuck is he?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's right. We forgot. Nobody's seen Derek in like a year. He may or may not be alive. We're not sure.
He doesn't talk to anybody, so we don't know. Whoa. Derek is a figment of our imagination. He
might actually be a figment of our imagination. I'm not sure he's not.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know what to say these days. Hey man, so next week, dude, super excited. I am going. My wife and kids are going to be out of town. They're going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I'm going to go camping.
Nice. So you're not going to Gatlinburg. Where are you going camping?
I think I'm going to go up to the Allegheny National Forest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got some.
It's nice up there.
Got some Jeep trails up there.
Yeah.
And, that'll work for
Jeep
me.
trail, do a little camping, get away from it all.
Even if it's just for I'm a big proponent of the 36-hour trip.
Yeah, 36-hour trip's good. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
You go. Like I'm gonna leave Sunday afternoon. I get up there, get camp set up, cook dinner, and then hang out, go to sleep, do some jeeping in the morning, and then head home in the afternoon.
Can't beat that.
Life will be good. Life will be good.
You won't have to worry about monitors failing, none of that shit.
No. Until I get home Monday night, and then we want to try to do a show if we're going to do a show, because, it seems like we're on this bi-weekly schedule now.
I should be good next Monday. I don't think I have anything going on. Mondays tend to be pretty open. Monday, for me at whatever 8:30 p.m. I tend to be here.
Yeah, it's just been just not been my day this past month or so.
It's been the every other day. It's been the every other one. It seems like it's your day, but then like every other week it's like there's something. I think last week was actually my fault. I can't remember why. But
I can't remember whose fault.
I think softball went late, and I was just like, I'm fucking exhausted, and I can't do this anymore.
I don't remember.
Lay down.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Like I don't have any wrestling opinions this week.
I haven't really even had fucking time to watch anything with my schedule.
I have actually watched everything, sort of. But
that AEW is a fucking shit show.
Oh my god, is it bad, bro? It is just I mean, I don't know why I turn this crap on anymore. I do because I'm stupid, apparently. But it's like, how do they continue to get worse weekend? Like, how does it get worse this week? Do you want to know what the ratings were this week for Dynamite?
What were they?
The ratings this week for Dynamite, it was actually beat by NXT this week. The ratings for Dynamite were only
Yeah, but Cody was on.
Sure, but
was
it was
on NXT this week.
681,000 viewers. Somebody's on NXT every week. 681,000 viewers. Remember when they were consistently 800K, 900K? They can't even hit that anymore. And they even got MJF back. Like, it is like they got MJF back. They got a little bump. And it has just been abysmal since then. Like, it is just like these ratings are just awful. And it's like, well, we got a lot of other sports competition, but you know what? NXT had 718,000 viewers the night before. I can't say I want to turn in. Like, there's nothing to tune in for. Like, you tune in if you want to be disappointed. That's really what it is. Because this is awful. It's boring at best and just bad at worst. It's so random matches. Nobody's got a feud. Feuds nobody cares about otherwise. Fucking MJF and Roosh. Do you care about MJF versus Roosh?
No.
No. Why would you? Why should you? Nobody should care. The Hardys are gone. They left. They're back in TNA now. How was the Hardy Boys run in AEW? Was it great? Was it so good? Anybody? Bueller?
Got nothing from me, pal. I mean, I just know
it was.
Jeff jumped off some things and squashed his melon, and then had a fireball DUI on his way to get his brain scanned. I mean, that's really the highlight of their run in AEW.
Did Matt do anything that wasn't terrible? I'm pretty sure everything Matt did was like must turn off TV.
Well, he teleported.
You
weren't into that.
Teleport in empty arenas for a couple of weeks. You're right. And then they like started letting people. They like had the boys sit in the stands, and he couldn't teleport anymore. It was weird how that worked, huh? Magic of television just floated away.
I think I'm gonna get some wax.
I would like that. I think you should do that and wax it up. Just have them curled there. But not, I mean, AEW's struggling, man. It's like it's not a good program. It's not compelling. They're not selling tickets. Like, I don't know how they're going to continue. They got a bum deal apparently from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, it was only like $118 million, which I mean isn't anything to write home about.
I mean, I don't know that they can like. I don't know that that's paying for the shows, especially in these half-empty arenas.
No, fuck no.
I mean, and everybody getting huge contracts to come out and hang out in front of.
I mean, there's only so much money to go around, man. From like a business standpoint, I feel like we're in this like critical mass like point in time with AEW where it's like you gotta shit or get off the pot. Now, I will give them credit where credit is due. Just simply because I've been keeping up on the internet. I haven't necessarily been watching, but like I'll watch a clip here and there, you know. I'll do some tubing of the you know what I mean, and check some things out. You know, it seems like they're trying to piecemeal together some storylines. But it just feels forced. And like
I'll tell you what felt unforced. So this past week, okay, they got Will Ospreay out there, which is fine, which is good. Although I thought he just said he was taking a break, but he was out there against Ray Phoenix.
Hey, bruv.
Hi, bruv, Ray Phoenix. And they had they had the match you would expect them to have. And then Dustin Rhodes versus Jack Perry. I don't know if you saw any of this. Did you catch any of this? Did you see any clips of this?
I saw a couple little. I saw like the little AEW highlight of it on their YouTube
Okay, so
channel.
you missed the part that was egregious. Obviously, Dustin Rhodes uses the Shattered Dreams, right? It's a thing. It was devastating back in the day. You saw Goldust give somebody Shattered Dreams, your balls hurt, right? Well, Jack Perry took the Shattered Dreams. Jack Perry took the Shattered Dreams, rolled out of it, no sold it right back to offense. So either Jack Perry has no balls or AEW wrestling is fake. Maybe both.
I don't think that Jack Perry has any balls.
Probably not. So, but that was a big deal, right? He was, Jack Perry versus Dustin Rhodes. It was a dog shit match.
Hey, how dare you disrespect the scapegoat like that? Like you are what's wrong with the internet wrestling community, pal.
Oh, because I expect people to get kicked in the nuts.
You are what's wrong. Okay, you and your logic. What the fuck's the matter with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with me? How dare I want people to sell when they get kicked in the balls? Oh, also Mercedes Moné defended her title against somebody we've never seen before.
She's a champion?
Yeah, she's the TBS champion. She defended it against Zeuxis or whoever that is. It wasn't any good. It was
well, I mean, because Mercedes isn't very good in AEW. I think that it's becoming apparently clear that like she was as good as she was in WWE because of the talent that she was working with.
Yeah, it wasn't.
She is not
she takes great bumps, but she's not a leader in the ring. She can't lead a match. She can't put together a good match. She can't, do she's not somebody who's going to carry the team. You know what I mean? She ain't that. She's barely even she's not even a name because she couldn't be Sasha Banks. So she's got to come out as a different name. And it's like, yeah, sure. Us internet wrestling marks know who she is, but she's a different person. And we're still not sure what she's the CEO of. She's not the CEO of AEW.
CEO.
And
like Bob Barker holding this stick, maybe a Mean Gene Okerlund. Hey, let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
Exactly. And then Roosh killed a jobber. It was dumb. Roosh, he killed a jobber.
Toro Blanco, Roosh.
He killed a jobber, and then yelled at MJF.
That's disrespectful.
It was a local talent who immediately got killed. And then we had a trios match. So it was Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy versus Kyle Fletcher, Roderick Strong, and Takeshita. This was about as thrown together of a match as could be. It was fine. All the guys in this match were pretty decent at wrestling, so it was fine. It meant nothing. It was about as meaningless as anything I could have put together. That Mercedes match was terrible. Will Ospreay versus Rey Fenix was, I don't know, it was something. It was a match. It was what you thought. It was a bunch of rehearsed spots, lots of flips. Everybody flipped real good. Nothing really to go home about. Obviously, Will Ospreay won because he's the golden goose at the moment. Although he's clearly not helping the ratings at all, so I don't know why he won. I don't know what it matters. It clearly doesn't. And this match didn't matter, just like the rest of the show. So long story short, I didn't watch Saturday because I waited and watched Clash of the Castle in the evening because I'm an American and I have shit to do on Saturday afternoons. And after that, it was just, I'm not sure what happened on Collision, but I haven't heard anything. I don't care what happened. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And AEW is becoming less and less important as weeks go on. And I hate that, but at this point, I like also am starting to hate AEW like fiercely for like.
Well, lucky for you, apparently Ricochet's headed there. So
good for him. Pretty Ricky.
I mean, maybe he'll right the ship.
Yeah, sure he will. Look, obviously Ricochet is the best of the flippy do shit. that everybody likes to do in AEW. So he's actually the best at it. But I'm sure he'll get lost in the shuffle and be buried pretty much right away. I bet he loses to Will Ospreay his first week there. What do you think?
No, they'll build that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they'll let him lose there. Maybe his.
I'm sorry, they'll build that for a couple of hours.
Yeah, they'll let him lose that maybe his third week there. They'll talk to each other a couple times. Ricochet will do that thing where he's like, "No, I'm the best at the flippy doos," and Ospreay will be like, "Oi, bruv, watch me kill this guy. It don't matter, none at all.
They're grinding on the boss's daughter, bruv.
Grinding on my balls, bruv." Yeah, exactly. And then, that'll go on for a week or two, and they'll talk about it, and then, the matchup we've been waiting for, and then Will Ospreay will go over, and then Ricochet will get buried, somewhere, and he'll hang out with the House of Black on Saturdays with 100,000 viewers or something. I don't know. So,
well, there seems to be some speculation that maybe Ricochet is not going anywhere, and maybe WWE, Ricochet, and Triple H are just leaning into the rumor and innuendo that the internet wrestling community would have you believe. So
I would think that would be the case too, because how they got him out seems to be setting up an angle more than anything else, right?
I would agree with that, especially, and I think for me, like, the whole we're expecting him to be written off of TV, on Monday thing, and then we get exactly what they said that we were going to get. But to include Samantha Irvin, when you to this point really haven't done that in any way, shape, or form, like,
well, she gave him a kiss that one time, and it fired him back up. But that was, I mean, they had alluded to the fact that there was a relationship,
right?
there.
But they've never made it like a thing on TV,
right? No, and they've never had him like get injured and her like look real concerned and like run back and stuff. Although I did enjoy that they had Pat McAfee do the announcing for the final. I thought that was great for the main event. Pat McAfee was like, "I'm gonna do it. It's cool. I can do it. Give me the mic."
representing the bum ass Judgment Day.
Yep, it was pretty good. I enjoyed that. So I thought that angle was cool all around. I'm interested to see what happens. I hope he doesn't just go to AEW and get lost in the shuffle as everybody else has. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe that's the case. Maybe he wants to go do flippy shit with those guys and show them how it's done, because he's clearly better at it than all of them, and maybe that's the idea.
Hey, bruv.
Well, hey, bruv. Yeah, exactly. Him and bruv can do their flippy shit, and that could be cool. I think that he'll probably, I would like to see. He and Aleister Black had a couple of cool matches in NXT. I wouldn't hate to see that revisited a little bit.
Yeah, but Malachi Black doesn't wrestle on television.
That's right, he doesn't.
I mean, he doesn't wrestle at all.
He really doesn't. Yeah, I don't. What's up with that? Because you're right, he doesn't. Like, that's a guy that literally could. Like, they could be putting shows around that guy, because they did in NXT, and they were getting better ratings than they're getting on AEW Dynamite. They could be putting shows around those guys, because that's a cool gimmick. Them and Julia Hart. That shit's cool.
It's just a matter of time until he's back in WWE.
Clearly, like, and I think he ought to bring Buddy and Brody King with him, and like maybe Julia Hart too. I think Julia Hart has a lot of potential. I think she could go, and I think with a little bit of work in NXT, I think she could be great. I even like her gimmick, her Dark Heart gimmick or whatever it is. I like the gimmick that she does. So I would be, I think with more TV time. And a little bit of better coaching and booking, I think the gimmicks are good. I just think that they don't get any time. They're not on TV. It never goes anywhere. That's the other problem. It's like, oh, that was cool, and then it goes fucking nowhere. You don't see them for another month.
Nowhere.
It's like, how do you build something when they're only on TV once a month? It's impossible, right? It's like, it's worse than Stranger Things taking 5 years between episodes, and now these kids are like fucking 30, and they're supposed to be like
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, it's Netflix shows and why they why they can't put out 10 episodes a year when they used to be able shows used to be able to do 22 episodes a year, and now
They
they
got
can't.
too big for their britches, pal.
And now they can't put out 10. It takes years to get 10 episodes done.
Well,
but hey, what do I know? I'm just the guy that watches TV. I don't make it.
That's right.
It's really hard. Boo-hoo.
You feel like salty today a little bit.
I am a little salty today. I'm tired of everybody being soft as puppy shit.
Now you're stealing my fucking shtick too.
Stealing your gimmick.
Wow. Crazy. Hey, so I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Okay.
I'm gonna give you the simplest answer possible. Or the hardest answer.
We're gonna elaborate a little bit on it. Okay. What did you think about Clash at the Castle?
Honestly, I thought it was weak.
Okay.
I thought it was
Great.
I thought it was weak.
So you played right into what I wanted. So I took a screenshot of this on Twix the other day, and I thought that it would be relevant for what we were talking about today, and more so than ever. It genuinely is. Okay. If AEW put on a 5-match pay-per-view card with 3 really good matches and 2 very skippable ones, with incredibly contentious endings in both world title matches, with 2 really unfortunate but very high-profile botches, and an ending that left the crowd vocally dissatisfied, how would Twitter react?
Dave would still give those 5 stars. Maybe 4.5, 4.7 or something like that. The AEW marks would love it. I would shit all over it, as would a lot of other people. And then they would be like, "You're a fucking fed fucking WWE lover, bitch." Something like that. That's how it would go. The internet would just fight about it. The AEW marks would be all they'd be like, "It was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was the best thing I ever saw. England is still coming down off that high." Or fucking Scotland is still coming down off that high. But everybody else would shit on it. But in all honesty, yes, the way you described it was exactly what it was. 2 matches that were actively bad. In the main event and the that women's triple threat tag matches were actively bad matches, especially with the botches. Man, Jade bit it hard. For a minute there, I thought that Damian Priest did that on purpose.
No, so allegedly. Now, this is the TikTok detectives out there. Okay, apparently, according to the TikTok detectives, and there's a pretty good case file here, I must say. There was a lot of top rope botches over there in old Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And apparently in the opening match, before Samantha Irvin introduced Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles for the big fight feel, the referee is caught telling AJ, grabbing the top rope and telling AJ, "These are kind of loose."
Okay.
AJ even was not so sure-footed on the top rope. So maybe there was some installation error. Maybe they had a new guy on set.
Maybe because they were overseas, maybe they didn't have the normal guy. Then maybe the normal guy couldn't make it. Maybe his passport had expired or something.
Yeah, so maybe he's on vacation. I don't. So there could be some problems with how the ring itself was set up for the show.
Maybe.
Regardless, Jade Cargill did herself 0 favors.
No.
with that spot, right? That botch. Now, some people will. There's a section of the audience that will tell you that match was great leading up to that botch, and then it all fell apart. Okay, that match was below average, and then fell into a dumpster full of cans of gasoline.
Yeah.
While holding a Zippo lighter. When that botch happened, it was mistimed. Nobody knew what they were doing. The in-ring work looked fucking shoddy at best. Man, I don't know what happened. Now, you look at it, you've got Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, you've got Jade Cargill, right? You've got Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Bianca Belair. The two most seasoned people in that match, Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler, even looked disconjointed, right? Like they looked discombobulated.
They looked shook after she fell. I thought they looked good up until those two particularly looked good up until and I thought Shayna and Zoe looked pretty good throughout.
Listen, Zoe Stark is I'm not trying to take anything away from any of the talent in there. I'm looking at it from a that's a big venue, right? And like there's a lot going on, and you've got Alba Fire with the thing with her mom, and then like Isla Dawn, like they're home and they know that they're getting ready to win the tag team championships at home. I'm sure there was a lot of nerves there. That's a big crowd for them. They are up and coming talent in this whole WWE thing. Jade has grown up in front of us since the AEW days, and she's not hit puberty yet. So and then I mean Zoe Stark is good. When she is half of your veteran leadership, that's a problem.
Yeah, and I think really like it seemed to me like Bianca sort of like after that she also sort of like lost a step. She was mistimed, like she was doing a lot of stutter stepping, and I think she sort of freaked out after.
Yeah, because I think that she realized that she had lost control of the match.
Yeah,
because I believe, and I know conventional wisdom will have you say, the heel calls the match, whatever. That's old school, right? Like, we know that a lot of this is rehearsed, and somebody, whoever's calling the match, is the one that generally whatever, right? So you got Shayna Baszler and Bianca that are trying to do that, and the shit was off the rails, and it was not good.
No.
And here's the most important part, though, right? Right? Nobody cared.
No. I mean, I like that they got it. I like that Isla Dawn and Alba Fire won in Glasgow.
Nobody cared.
But you're right. In the grand scheme of things, like that's the women's tag titles are the least important titles in WWE. Maybe in wrestling. No, that's not true.
I'll disagree with that. I think that both sets of the SmackDown men's tag titles are the least interesting titles in all of pro.
Now that you say that, I'm not even sure who the champs are.
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And it should not be that way.
No.
Those guys should be entertaining the fuck out of us with the championships, and they're just not.
They got to do the Austin or the Grayson Waller experience in Glasgow.
Right, but that's it. But that's it. They're not being used.
No. It's clear that they're sort of starting to tease. They want those guys to feud sooner rather than later, and I think they want to turn Austin Theory babyface again.
Ew.
I'm just saying, because
I don't know that I like that.
They want to do something because Austin Theory's they see him as the future.
No, Vince McMahon saw him as the future.
Well, but I also think that that other people see him. So I think they maybe want to give him a babyface run to see what he can do with it, and maybe that's what he's pitching. I don't think that I'd hate a feud between the two of them, especially if Austin Theory beats the shit out of Grayson Waller, because I find Grayson Waller to be particularly annoying, and I know that's how I'm supposed to feel about him.
That's it. That means he's doing a good job.
Yeah, so I'm okay with it. So I'm like, okay, I could give that a chance, especially if they stick with it and give me some continuity and like keep it consistent, right? Like do it every Friday, give me a little bit every Friday. Don't just like touch on it here, touch on it there, and then forget about it for a couple weeks and then touch on it again. Like that's not how you're going to keep my interest on this.
No,
And
not at all.
that can just
And
be that can go to hell otherwise. But if they're going to keep on it and be straight to the point with it, I'd like to see that. But if they're not going to be, they could just write them off television. And I wouldn't.
and realistically, Tom, I've been talking about this being a problem for the entirety of the existence of this show, where the tag team division doesn't mean dick shit, and you have two sets of tag team titles that nobody cares about, and then for a little while they listened and they brought them together, and the Usos oversaw all of tag team wrestling, and tag team wrestling was fucking great in WWE. Like, it got featured in the main event at WrestleMania, right? Like, tag team wrestling in the WWE was a spectacle. And it was something that had never been before in WWE history. And now we split the titles and we're right back
to where it was. It's like it's whatever 2019 tag titles all over again, or 2020, whatever it was before the Usos won it. It's right back to it.
So
like, one of them's important, depending on who has them.
Yeah, it's just because fucking R-Truth and The Miz right now, because R-Truth is just so over. Like,
and
he's on the run of his career.
Yeah, and The Miz is always a steady hand to put a title on.
Yes,
right. He's good. He's good with any title for however long you want him to have it. He can have a short run, and that's always believable and good. He can have a long tag title run with just about anybody, which we've already seen him do. Like with has The Miz held tag titles with the most partners? I'm curious as to see what that statistic is, because I bet he's pretty close to having the record.
I mean, that's a possibility, because you've got Truth twice. No, Truth just this time. They didn't win tag team titles before, I don't think. You got Morrison
a couple times. They hated them shits back then.
Fuck, bro, you might be on to something there.
Because there's a few, right? And there's a bunch of like random, like, weren't he and Shane McMahon like tag?
No, they weren't tag team champions. They just were the best in the world cup. Like that
thing, right? But it was. I mean, there's like he's had a zillion different partners, and he's probably had some tag title runs that we forgot that were a week or two long. Because it was like, all right, we're gonna get it off this baby face and get it on this baby face. Miz, you're up.
Yep. Just like with the world title on this last run that he had.
Oh yeah, and I thought that was super entertaining, and I feel like every time the Miz has a belt, like, he's super entertaining, and he's a guy you can throw in there. I mean, we've been singing the Miz's praises since we started this show, but but those are the ones, right? Those are the ones that are interesting right now. And once we, I feel like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are probably towards the end of their run. I think they're going to lose it. And Austin Theory is going to take the pin, but Grayson Waller is going to pull him in front of a Mack truck or something to save himself. And then that'll be a feud after the fact, and that'll be fine. Hopefully they stick with it, and keep on it and give it some legs and let it be consistent. Because otherwise, who fucking cares?
Yeah, and that's so. I use that to argue that maybe the women's tag team titles aren't as irrelevant as you portray them to be.
Fair enough. And they did use them to get Damage Control over pretty darn well. I mean, they also had the women's world title too, but whatever,
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It just could have done without that one. And then obviously the feature belt Okay. The one that everybody's supposed to care about kicks off the fucking show.
Yeah, and that it was like one of those things where it's like it kicked off the show, and it was like, oh, well, I didn't think AJ was winning anyway, and now that's kicking off the show. I know he ain't winning, and I feel like it only got like 15-ish minutes.
No, that motherfucker. Because listen, that motherfucker got every bit of 27.
Okay, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because at one point, I was like, I'm not watching this. Like, it was good. I quit match, but it's like, get me to where I need to go because somebody's got to quit. So there's going to be a big story climax that I'm going to see.
The ending. I actually hated the ending.
Like, it was dumb.
I hated it. I quit. And then he hits him with the steps anyway. Like, all right, whatever.
I think
whatever. Dumb.
They may be teasing a Cody heel turn.
I doubt it.
I'm just saying, man, like there's been a lot of chatter about it on the internet. The Undertaker suggested it.
Undertaker suggests that everybody turn heel.
No, not really. I've been listening to his podcast a lot. It's actually
I'm sure you have.
It's actually
that was tailor-made. It's tailor-made for you. I've listened to it 4 or 5 times. That shit is tailor-made for you.
My dude.
That is everything you hoped the Undertaker would do in retirement.
Yep.
It is ever since we were the littlest of kids. That is everything you would have hoped the Undertaker would have done 30 years after that.
Yep.
And he's doing it.
And I think it's good too. I'm fucking here for it, bro.
I think it's good too. In all honesty, I think it's good too. I think he still speculates a lot and just like I like his opinion because I respect the guy and obviously I watched him since I remember his debut. You know, like we weren't that young when he debuted. We were what 5, 6. So it's like I can remember. Yeah, we were like 6, and it's like that was like right when we got into wrestling, right? Because it was like eat your Wheaties and take your vitamins, Hulk Hogan, and you had Macho Man, you had Jake the Snake was awesome at that point in time, and then this undead Undertaker comes out and he's impervious to pain. Like that was when WWE was so larger than life, that it was, and we were like little kids too, so like we were super impressionable. At that point, it was
they were like fucking superheroes. Bro.
Oh my god, you could turn on the TV on Saturday and watch literal fucking superheroes. Like I think also the Road Warriors had gone to WWE at that point, and they were the Legion of Doom
somewhere in there,
right around that point in time, like the early '90s. So them two, like those guys, looked like superheroes also, and you had the Bushwhackers.
Now you wouldn't be able to lick a child these days.
You would not be able to lick a child.
No, you definitely wouldn't be able to lick a child these days.
You would not. That's a bygone era that is never coming back. But did love the Bushwhackers. They were actually my favorites because they wrestled every Saturday, and that was pretty much the only show I was allowed to watch because the rest of them started at like 9 p.m. and my mom did not let me stay up because I was a child.
So, but you're right though. The Undertaker doing exactly what he's doing post-retirement is everything that I could have ever dreamed of as a lifelong Undertaker fan. You know what I mean? Like, especially as I got older and realized what he was doing, you know, and like just keeping it kayfabe all the time. Pretty sweet.
You gotta respect
I'm here for it.
Regardless of what opinions I share or don't share with the Undertaker, you gotta respect his commitment to kayfabe for so long. Like all you got was Undertaker, like for 30 years. The only thing you saw until he put that hat down and walked out, the only thing you saw was that man in character. He did not exit character if he was around people. He did not.
I thought so. I don't want to turn this into an Undertaker love fest here, but I thought one of the things he was like on one of the episodes he was talking about, you know, I was so dedicated to the gimmick, and it's like these guys, you know, would want to try me in bars and shit, and he was like, and then that's when we started where we were so recognizable because like our face is our brand, you know what I mean, like, and he was like, that's why we started going to strip clubs. He said, because it's dark and nobody gives a fuck who's there because they're all watching the girls. He was like, so we started going there just so people wouldn't try to fight us or, or recognize me and want to take pictures, whatever it was he was talking about. It was like, so it was perfect. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think that there might be some seeds being sown about a Cody Rhodes heel turn. I don't know, because I'm going to tell you one thing's for certain: his title reign's not been that good.
It's the same problem that every babyface has, really. It's like that climb is so epic, right? And
It's
then
like Hangman.
exactly, and then once the puppy catches the car, what do they do with it? What do they do with it? They need, and the other problem with it too is that he doesn't have a foil either. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna put guys like he's already climbed the mountain and toppled the tribal chief, like against all odds. Like, were you gonna have AJ Styles beat him? No.
I mean, you could have. It would have been believable.
It would have been, but that's not what they want to do.
But I mean, Cody is going to be that champion. I think that Solo is going to step in here. They teased it a little bit on Saturday. I think that they're gonna try to load up some more eggs in this bloodline story basket.
I love Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. I love what those guys have been doing. It's been, to me, it's so believable. And those guys just come out and they're just throwing potatoes. It's like you can tell they're hitting guys they're hitting guys for real. They don't even give a shit. They're just hitting guys. They're like,
well, I mean, they're Haku's kids. What the fuck do they care?
Exactly. And it's been I love every second of it. It's been great. And like, really, they're sort of like they're giving Solo the pedestal that he really needs, because like he can't come out there and talk, right? But he can come out there and look like he's dressed like a mob boss, right? With these fucking bloodthirsty, I don't know, pit bulls. These guys just maul somebody, and then they hold him up and throw him at Solo, and he gives him the spike. That's great. That's awesome.
He started spearing people now too.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is. He's doing that too. But it's been good. And it's going to be even better when Roman comes back. That's going to put Roman on a different level. Like, it's just going to be unbelievable. And then is Jimmy? I guess Jimmy's going to have to side with Roman at that point, right? Jimmy's going to have to,
and I mean, they're probably going to need Jay too, right? Like, I think they're going to have to tell that story at some point. But again, AJ versus Cody, shitty ending, and like didn't really make much sense. But I have to ask you, did you really care? Because I didn't.
No, because I knew it was going to happen. It's like it's so hard when it's so predictable, and then when they throw it on first, which is problematic. It's like, oh well. Not only are they not going to surprise me, they're telling me to stop giving a shit. And I turned it on, like, not live, because I didn't want. I was good. I stayed off social media. I did not watch any spoilers, so I had no idea what happened. And I think I threw it on at like 6 p.m. or something. And somewhere halfway through the match, I got up to get a drink or something, or go to the bathroom. And Ashley goes, "You want me to pause this?" I'm like, "No, I know what's going to happen."
Yeah,
I'm just gonna pee and I'll come back. It'll be fine. And I don't feel like I missed anything during my urinating. And I think I got a snack in there at some point. Maybe I ate dinner. I can't remember. But it was no, I didn't care, and I think that's problematic. Truthfully, I felt like the whole build to Clash of the Castle felt like. It's starting to feel like these Saudi Arabia shows, this Clash of the Castle thing, where it's sort of a glorified house show, right? It's like, all right, well, the champions need an opponent. So we're going to give them somebody who seems like a main event guy, but a guy who we're probably not going to put the title on. AJ seemed to be that guy, although I did like the Mark Henry angle going into it. But, I mean, what were they going to do? with the finish. So
I mean, AJ definitely could have won and just turned all this upside down, because I feel like
that would be
you
cool.
want to use the excuse that they're making this just like another house show, but the problem is these are marquee events now, and what are they going to do? The same thing with Bash at Berlin? They didn't
Probably.
do the same thing with Backlash, right? Isn't that what was just in France?
Yeah. Are they going
Great
to do
show.
the same thing?
It was a
What
great
about
show.
What about
Okay,
Crown Jewel? Crown Jewel's going to be the same
Crown
thing.
Jewel was a good show. I think that this.
But the new one that's coming up is going to be the same kind of. It's
I'm
going to
just
be a
saying
glorified house show.
we cannot allow. We cannot allow ourselves to use that excuse, because they are doing business on a regular basis internationally for major shows. So they need to be treated as such, and that's what they did not do here.
They didn't.
Continuing on, Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. Another storyline that we didn't get a fucking payoff on.
Yeah. Chad Gable should have won that.
Yes.
But no, you're right. We didn't. It was just more is Otis going to turn on Chad Gable now? Like, that's the storyline coming. It has nothing to do with Sammy, really. Sammy's a bystander in this, in the whole storyline. And truth be told, Chad Gable's the more interesting portion of it.
Yep.
But the more interesting guy had all the drama happen, and because of all the drama that happened to him, he lost his match to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was an afterthought. He just carries the title, and now that's over. But it's like the real story has nothing to do with Sami Zayn. It has everything to do with Chad Gable and Otis. Yes? Or are you telling me to preach?
Do you care? Because I didn't.
I care about Chad Gable and Otis. I don't care about Sami Zayn's Intercontinental title run.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Yeah, if that's the explanatory point. Yeah, now who's Sammy gonna fight? Who cares?
Who cares?
Who's next? Who cares?
Who cares?
I mean,
Bailey and Piper Niven.
well, actually did like it. I like Piper Niven a lot. It felt a little thrown together because obviously there wasn't much build to it, but Piper being Scottish and the hometown hero, and I thought this was the match of the show. I thought it was a great match from start to finish. I thought both women really put on a great match. I kind of almost wished that Piper would have won. I feel like Bailey's title run's a little too new. They like to have her hold the title for a little while.
Who cares?
I agree. Who cares? But I actually care about this. So I've actually been enjoying Bailey's title run thus far. I enjoyed the build. I'm enjoying the title run. I think Bailey's a good champion. I think she carries it well, and I think that she makes her feuds mean something, both in the ring and out of the ring. And whether she's given a week to build the feud, or a month or 2 months or whatever, she does a good job.
I'm sorry, I don't like babyface Bailey.
I think that I like this character as a babyface. I think it works. I think it's better than the hugger gimmick. And I think that
she got bullied by her friends that weren't really her friends, and then
beat the shit out of them.
And then she got to beat him up, and now she's big strong.
I mean, that's wrestling though. That's like a very
so invested in the bully beater.
So she's not a hugger anymore. She's a bully beater.
Bullshit.
I like it.
Trash.
Raw has been on commercial every time I have looked. Oh, no, wait, I'm wrong. Hey, SummerSlam Saturday from the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland. Wait, that says Cleveland Indians. Oh, Guardians. No, that does say Guardians. Why does the G look like an I? Anyway. Cleveland Indians. Guardians. Mistake on the lake.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was the best match on the show, though.
Absolutely. It wasn't even close.
And then we get into the main event. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. for World Heavyweight Championship.
So this match was good, other than I actually didn't think that Damian Priest. I thought Damian Priest did that on purpose. The rope thing, getting twisted up in the ropes. That seems harder to. That seems like a thing that you don't do on accident. You know what I mean? That seems like a thing you got to try to do.
Man, looked pretty gnarly.
It did look gnarly. That's kind of why I'm thinking like it looked pretty gnarly, but he didn't seem any worse for wear coming out of it. It definitely looked gnarly though, and I thought they did a good job with all that, and I thought Drew did a good job too, because like Damian Priest went for it and he got tied up in the ropes and he fell, and Drew immediately went and gave him a couple shots. Immediately it was like bam, bam, and then got him up and got him. Was fighting him. Drew said, "Can't win the title if he's tied up in the ropes." Got him out of the ropes. Went back on offense, just beating him. And then that kind of led into the finish too, was where Drew had him dead to rights, and then out comes CM Punk. Truthfully, had they not done this exact same thing 2 years ago in Wales at Clash at the Castle, I would have actually really liked this finish. However, they did this almost exact goddamn thing where somebody comes in at the end and fucks everything up for Drew. And like they did this, we've seen this before. It's happened already.
Oh.
And we did it again.
Hmm.
Why do we do the same thing again at Clash at the Castle? Again? There's been 2 clashes at the Castle, and both of them have had Drew McIntyre in the main event, and Drew McIntyre has been screwed over in the main event twice at Clash at the Castle.
Hmm.
It's not even like it's frustrating, and I understand. I get it, right? You can't put the title on Drew because then you got Gunther at SummerSlam. And, Gunther's going to go against Damian Priest at SummerSlam and probably going to beat him, and that's going to be fine. And you can't have Drew lose at SummerSlam right after he wins the title, but also, what the fuck?
And, I mean, you've still got this CM Punk story that's brewing, and
I think that they think that it doesn't need the title, but I think also...
I don't think it needs a title at all.
But also at the same point, why do we continue to give Drew title shots and treat him like just to screw him, like just to screw over Drew McIntyre?
Because they're telling the bigger story.
I get it, but I'm not like, let's maybe be more creative than just screwing Drew over and over again. Drew's a world beater until somebody comes out and just fucks him in the butt.
I mean, that would distract any mortal man.
Yes, but let's be a little more creative about it, because it's predictable at this point, because they've done it so many times, and it's happened in multiple different storylines now with Drew, and it's, I don't know. I don't know how else you would have done it. I don't know how else you could have done it. Maybe just have Damian Priest beat him clean.
No.
But
No, that's not how we do business around here, pal.
No, it's not.
Nobody cares. I certainly don't.
Is that the theme of the show? Is that the title? Oh no, the Glasgow Screw Job. Yeah, that's really what it was, man. It was the Glasgow Screw Job. And we saw it coming too. And I tried to stay off the only thing I saw on Instagram was first thing in the morning before the show started that yes, they had confirmed that CM Punk was in Glasgow. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Couldn't help themselves.
Couldn't
help themselves. Allegedly, he's going to be cleared this week. So
yeah, he should be pretty close. It's been
we'll probably get the payoff to this. Well, I wouldn't say the payoff, but we're going to get the first round of this story coming up at SummerSlam.
It's been 5-ish months, so yeah, he's pretty close. If not this week, probably early next month. I would imagine we don't see CM Punk fight anybody until at least the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, well,
Maybe not till SummerSlam. Actually, he'll probably just come out and talk, and then he'll be there at SummerSlam. Maybe he'll be on a tag match or something.
I'm trying to decide if the commotion upstairs is excitement or anger.
I mean, Trolls is on Peacock now, so I would go with excitement.
He's laughing, but is she laughing?
Well, if he's laughing, it's probably okay.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the wife, not the
Right,
not
that's what I
no.
mean. If he's laughing, it's probably okay. Like, does he
Yeah,
laugh
but
when she's mad?
she sounds very stern
Does he laugh when she's mad?
sometimes.
Is that a thing?
Sometimes.
Uh,
Okay, I'll deal with that. I'll sort that out later. Yeah, man, I don't know, but like they've done a good job telling the CM Punk Drew McIntyre story, and I don't think that it needs the belt. And I don't necessarily. I agree with you. I don't necessarily like that they're using the low hanging fruit on the screwing Drew over. But that's the story that they've been telling on this. Oh, they just keep screwing me over. You know, I mean, he went on Pat McAfee and ranted about it for 25 minutes. And I don't know. It just kind of seems lazy.
it seems like it's the lowest hanging fruit, and it's just like, oh, well, let's do something different. Let's have CM Punk go out there in a referee shirt. Like,
And I'm not all hope is lost. Like, don't
no,
I think I'm very down on the product right now. I've not really there's not been that thing that's been motivating to make me want to just sit down and spend 14 hours a week watching wrestling right now.
So to me this seemed like a pretty good episode of Raw, but not a very good like tent pole not a very good tent pole international show, right? It
Right.
would have been a pretty good Raw, but it wasn't. I don't know. I guess we got new tag champs,
Yeah.
new women's tag champs.
Yeah.
But that's it, right? Like no other titles changed hands. They were all on the line.
No US,
No
but
US title.
that's SummerSlam for sure.
Yeah, but I mean,
Logan Paul and LA Knight. Yeah.
yeah, everything. But yeah, everything but everything but the U.S. title was on the line. We got one title change, which was actually the worst match on the card.
Yeah.
um,
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm giving it a thumbs down. I thought it was I thought it was weak. It was
Didn't really care for it.
It was like I said, it would have been a decent Raw. I think. A decent weekly program, but to be the the crescendo of the month, no, I don't even think it was as good as I thought. SmackDown the night before was actually more entertaining. I thought Raw 2 weeks ago was more entertaining. So yeah, that's where I am too. I feel like that. I hate to say it, but I almost feel like these international shows are sort of like less important, or they're at least less interesting than the week-to-week product is. The week-to-week product at least advances storylines and does stuff. These are supposed to be their crescendos of the storylines, but like they have kind of fucky finishes and nothing happens really, and we just move on. And it's like, oh well, that ended with a whimper. What's next?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't have the same problems that everybody has with how it ended.
I mean, it made sense. Look,
it made perfect sense. It's just, I don't know.
I think maybe my problem.
Why do I care?
I think my problem is just maybe with how it ended 2 years prior, more than how it ended this time. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like it was like, again, they're doing this to Drew again.
Yeah.
Again. And I think that's really what it was. Had it not been Drew, let's say it had been Sheamus, right? 2 years ago, wouldn't have even crossed my mind. I'd have been like, oh, that made perfect sense. And that was great. But the fact that Drew got screwed at Clash in the Castle 2 years ago in the main event, and then this year, and then the Clash in the Castle Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, Drew gets screwed again. I mean, he hit that Claymore and they counted to 10.
Yeah. Yep. And then you get the
Yeah.
If I would have had time to have made a thumbnail for this episode today, I was going to use that still shot.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
maybe if I circle back and do that. So to answer your question there on the old Twix at Wrestling Mark 16, this is how two guys that like WWE an awful lot feel about that show. So some of us do call it right down the middle, and not just attack AEW for the sake of attacking AEW.
I want AEW to be good. I feel like that's a thing that I've said before. I want it to be good. The problem is it just sucks. Like if it was good,
Kevin Kelly was on
fucking
Eric Bischoff's new little sidebar thing. You know, Kevin Kelly got fired from AEW. And he talked about it. He said Tony Khan's a nice guy, or what did he say? Tony Khan's got capable people surrounding him that aren't being utilized when it comes to like day-to-day operations of things. And you know, it sounds like we've exactly what we've been talking about for the last couple of years, just based on what Kevin Kelly has to say. Now, mind you, that's a disgruntled former employer or employee.
Sure.
You know, but I don't know that I've ever known Kevin Kelly to go on the internet and point fingers and not be credible.
No, because Kevin Kelly's literally at this point been in just about every promotion.
Yeah, but I don't think that like I don't ever remember him like going psycho on the internet for no reason and like everybody being
I
like,
don't think
okay,
he's ever gone psycho on the internet, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't great, and I feel like we've not moved any further in our arc.
No, we've not.
Than we have in the last couple of weeks.
I feel like the last couple of months, basically since WrestleMania, everybody's kind of just been in a weird holding pattern.
It's almost like he's trying to see who's gonna step up. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, but it's not been it's not really been
It's
all
been
that great.
like I feel like the quality of everything has been good, has been fine. It's been good. The booking has been, has been sensical. Things have made sense. The builds have been, the builds have been thought out. It's just a matter of like it's so everything's felt so predictable, and so like you can look at a card and almost just be like, okay, this person's going to win this match. This person's going to win that match. This is going to be a screwy finish because XYZ is going to happen. And you can almost call an entire show, especially a pay-per-view. You can almost call a pay-per-view just by looking at the card.
Yeah. Well, start having to go over to mybookie.com and start betting on these wrestling shows and making some money. Yeah, that's a thing now. Yeah, mybookie.co or CA or some. I don't know. You just gotta look there. It's a thing you can bet on.
Jeez,
PLEs.
I might be a millionaire at the end of the year then, because I could call all these shits.
So, yeah, man. I think there's
only
only
bet
one
$5 and only bet winnings for the rest of the year, and I'm going to see if I can make $1 million.
I think there's only we should probably do that. I think there's only one thing left to do here, huh? Tom, what's your match of the week?
I'm so glad I get to go first. My match of the week was Piper Niven versus Bayley, because
no arguments here, mine as well.
It was the best match on that card. It was the best match of the week. I don't really even remember any matches from Friday. I watched the whole show. I don't think anything happened that was all that particularly interesting. I think Santos Escobar and some wrestled somebody from the LWO or whatever. But no, it was the most thought out. I like the show of respect at the end. I love Chelsea Green. I love that Chelsea Green keeps getting to be out there, and they got Chelsea Green. She gets to say that again.
Yep.
I think that it's to me that was, it was a lackluster week, so there wasn't a lot of great things to sort of pick at anyway. But I really thought that match went really hard, and it stole the show for sure. I liked the finish. I liked the match. I liked pretty much everything about it. I thought it was good from start to finish. That was the one match on the card that I had nothing bad to say about. I thought it was good start to finish. The build was, although the build was quick, I thought it worked out. I thought it felt good because it was very much just like Piper Niven, hometown girl. She's here to get her, she's a heel for sure, and she portrayed it that way. But it was like, hey, I'm at home. I need to win at home, and she put on a great match. I thought she and Bailey were two very good styles because Piper works a great big girl style. She's really the only one that works the big girl style. I think that's she's quick about it. She does a lot of the moves that she does a lot of Vader-esque moves. Clearly, she's nobody's as big as Vader was, but she does a lot of Vader-esque moves, and she moves quickly about it. And I thought Bailey was a great sort of opponent for her because, Bailey's big enough and strong enough that she could throw her around a little bit, and it looks believable. They look like believable competitors in the ring together. And I thought the match was great. I had no problems with it at all. I kind of wish it would have got an extra week of build, but that's maybe just being selfish because I'm a fan.
Samesies. I mean, you didn't say anything that didn't make sense. I mean, I like the fact that Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are getting a little bit of love and respect as characters and individuals, because they deserve it. Especially Piper Niven having to deal with all the bullshit that she had to deal with. I mean, don't get me wrong, Vince fancied her a little bit because I mean she'd been in the conversation a couple of times.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She'd been in and out of the main event picture a little bit, especially in the international shows. Vince knew that she was a draw in Europe, and you would use that.
But she's really done a great job with this Chelsea Green pairing, and just think, this Chelsea Green pairing with Piper Niven shouldn't exist. Because this was Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, which we were excited for.
We were.
This has paid dividends.
It's been very entertaining.
This is the definition of making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Chelsea Green is honestly yeah, absolutely. I don't know that anybody's done that better than she has in the last few years, because she was it's like she came back with a vengeance, right? She was let go before and then rehired, and has come back with a vengeance of I'm going to make this work regardless of what I get. This is going to work. I'm going to make this work and nobody can stop me. And she has been entertaining every time she steps out behind that curtain. She is entertaining, and you know what? They've put her with people, which is rightfully so. And not only she got herself over, she gets whomever she's with over, and they've been tag champs now, and that was kind of fun. And it's been fun every time.
She has definitely proven that Triple H did not make a mistake in bringing her back.
No, not at all.
Vince McMahon made a mistake not recognizing her upside, and she's been stellar. And I am so very excited to see what they do with her, and I hope that she's a world champion soon because she definitely deserves it.
I can see her having. Remember, I don't know when Carmella's coming back, but remember Carmella's only world title run that somehow, for whatever reason, ended up being way better than it ever should have. I feel like that's how Chelsea Green's title run would go. Just way better than it should be. And just like also semi longer than it'll be like 100 days. And we'll be like, huh, remember that time Chelsea Green held the title for 100 days? And it was interesting for every one of those days.
So, all right. Yeah, I gotta go upstairs and handle this issue that seems to be growing into a much larger ordeal than I originally anticipated.
Go take care of business.
Yeah, so hey, if you're still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. Even consider subscribing. That'd be really, really cool. And if you're listening to us on the audio side, man, hey, thank you very much. Just tell your friends, one work commute, you're gonna know if you're into our shtick. And that's really all it takes. I know probably in the first 30 minutes of listening to something, if I'm gonna be into it long term.
We're funny. We're cheeky.
You know.
We're cheeky.
So just tell a friend, have them check us out. Check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. And with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week.
Ish.
Yeah. One Fall WrestleCast.
Next week ish.
Yeah, next week ish.